So after Saturday's loss against the Utah Jazz, is it time for Brad Stevens to make a switch with this starting unit?
Yes.
This segment is powered by 1-100. We'll get there.
Seconded.
.co. Head over to 1-100.co where you can win tickets to see the Celtics, the Bruins, and other concert events going on in the city. That's 1-100.co. Sign up today. Chris, I'll let you start. I guess somebody wants to change the starting five, but he's not the only one, but I'll let you get the floor here. If you're Brad Stevens, what kind of changes are you making?
Well, I want to see Gordon Hayward go to the bench unit.
Agreed.
And I want to see Marcus Smart and potentially Marcus Morris move into the starting lineup. I think, a lot of people are thinking about just fixing the starting lineup alone, but I think it would fix some other issues too. Obviously, Terry Rozier has not had a good start to this season. He hasn't been efficient. His shot selection has been terrible. I think if you allow Gordon Hayward to go into the second lineup, second unit, he can work as a primary ball handler. I'm personally under the idea that Terry works better as a secondary guy and works off the ball. That would allow him to maybe take some of the pressure off of himself, stop forcing some shots, maybe help out his shot selection, which has been terrible, and help some things out. And I think Gordon is forcing a little bit in the starting lineup too. So moving him to the second lineup would allow him to kind of relax. Marcus Smart would provide some energy in what has been a pretty lethargic starting lineup at times, especially to begin games, especially on Saturday night. And Marcus Morris, on the other hand, alongside Kyrie, has been the most efficient and consistent guy in this lineup. So that's my opinion. That's where I am right now.
I agree, and I would say that starters don't have non-existent games, and Jaylen Brown has been that guy all season. I don't understand why Brad Stevens is still sticking with him.
Also, would you take out Hayward and Jaylen Brown? Or are you just going to take out one of those guys for either Marcus or Marcus?
I would take both out. Smart with the energy, of course. And you've got someone like Morris who can knock down a shot. The game tonight, if you have Hayward and Morris shooting poorly, you're not going to win, especially when your second highest scorer is Tatum with 10. So at least if you plug one of those in to start originally, you're going to get more scoring.
Right. See, I like the Smart idea, but I'm not crazy about putting Morris in the starting five. I think you want Morris to stay in that second unit. You want that offense to resonate throughout those guys. He's leading the unit. He's been easily the most consistent player aside from Kyrie Irving. So why rock the, why shake things up there? But when it comes to Marcus Smart, yes, 1,000% I agree. They need that defense in the backcourt. You got opposing guards like Jamal Murray dropping 48 points. You got, Victor Oladipo. I mean, the list goes on. There's been guards that have just been going off against the Boston Celtics' backcourt. Whether you want to point at Kyrie Irving's defense or think that Gordon Hayward is not there defensively, that's beside the point. I just think you need that defensive anchor, another guy in the backcourt like Marcus Smart who can sort of calm things down, contain the opposing guards, and just go from there.
Yeah, Smart's like the ultimate insurance policy, right, in terms of Kyrie's defense. Because I'm not saying Kyrie's a bad defender. He's an average defender. But along the perimeter, he would have helped on Saturday night with a guy like Donovan Mitchell just going off along the wing.
Right.
Smart is a physical perimeter defender, and that really deters a lot of guards out of their game. So I think that would really help.
And we've touched on Kyrie Irving potentially talking a little bit about veteran and young, the split there between youth and veterans.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Brad Stevens continues with Jaylen Brown, because that, for me, does cause an issue eventually, because we can all see he's not performing as he should, and he takes far too many threes.
Right. Yeah, but see, Max, if you have him alone without Gordon Hayward there, because let's face it, if you put Marcus Smart in that starting five, Marcus Smart is no longer trying to be offensive. You know what I mean? He's not going to go for those shots. He's not going to force threes like we've seen in the second unit. He's going to know his position. He's going to know his role. Defensive anchor, facilitate a bit, but for the most part, play defense. That's going to open things up for Jaylen Brown. I think that's been the problem. Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward are having a really hard time coexisting with each other in terms of offensive production. When one guy goes off or has a really good game, the other guy doesn't, and the same thing's been happening over and over again. I think this will open things up for Jaylen Brown.
I know you love some Brad Monemaker as well. That jump shot, that is why they need to get Rozier going, because Kyrie Irving, however great he is, he needs a solid backup, especially in the postseason. He hasn't adapted really to going from 36 minutes in the playoffs to back to the bench.
He hasn't at all, and you're going to need, and I really think that starts with getting another primary ball handler like Gordon Hayward in that second unit. Of course, we haven't seen a ton of Hayward as a primary handler, but that can really help Rozier take a lot of pressure, and in my opinion, he works a lot better off the ball.
Agreed. Let us know what you think. Hit us up in the comment section. What kind of switches would you make if you're Brad Stevens? Should he even change the starting unit? Let us know in the comment section.